But I found this to be particularly grating, mostly because he is an actor. And I'm like, well, could you write yourself some new lines? Or say it in a different way? I think the thing that bothers me about him, he's so self-satisfied in the moment of this story. I need to ask you guys what you think about Matthew McConaughey. I don't like that guy. And I really haven't liked him for a good bit now. But I've been slowly watching as he has tried to, for a second time, rebrand himself as an inspirational speaker. And, you know, I give Meghan Markle a lot of, quite frankly, crap. Because she comes out and says the same thing in all of her interviews over and over and over again. She tells the same stories. She has the same anecdotes. She gives the same kind of examples over and over and over. And it's kind of like, all right already. Do you have any ideas beyond taking your shoes off to make your guests feel comfortable? I mean, do you know about anything that happened to you other than when you were 11 years old? It's like the stories are always the literal same. Okay. And we're sick and tired of them. But because we don't like her, we yammer on about how she always says the same thing. But you guys, a new contender has arisen in my disdain of people who come out and say the same thing. On the one hand, I do want to acknowledge that when it comes to talk shows, and especially if you're trying to talk about a recent book that you wrote or something like that, probably you will have a general outline of what you plan on saying. The book is going to be discussed the same way probably for most of your interviews. And the place you were at when you came to writing the book, probably a general repetition could be expected. But Matthew McConaughey has consistently, over the last couple of weeks, in plugging his latest book, has told us the same story with the same timing every single time. He's like a parody of himself at this point. And I have heard him give this same exact spiel over and over. And if he had said this one time, I would have been like, I like how he told that story. That was good. Good for him. I like that kept me engaged, and I liked his timing. That was good. Okay. But when you do that same bit with the same timing every single interview that you do, at what point are you not Meghan Markle? I mean, at least Meghan Markle doesn't say it in the same cadence, in the same way, with the same timing. It's bad enough how she does it. But I found this to be particularly grating, mostly because he is an actor. And I'm like, well, could you write yourself some new lines? Or say it in a different way? Or I think the thing that bothers me about him, he's so self-satisfied in the moment of this story. Because the story that he goes on to tell is that he had left Hollywood because they were giving him the same romantic comedy roles and he just didn't want to do those roles anymore. He wanted to do more dramatic acting. So he left. And then he was out of work for 20 months. But then in that span of time, he was sent a script and he turned it down because the money wasn't very good. And then they kept upping the ante and he kept turning it down, and kept turning it down. And then he's got like this joke at the end. And I'll let you see it. I'm not going to play every time he tells you this story because we'd be here forever because he's told the same story like 7 different times in the exact same way.
18 months go by. And I remember this. The script comes in. It was romantic comedy, $8 million offer. I said, no, thank you. $10 million offer. I said, no, thank you. $12 million offer. I said, no, thank you. $14.5 million offer. I said, let me read that again. And let me tell you, it was the same words.
So
it was the same words as the $8 million offer, but it was better. It was more well written. I could see this working for me, But ultimately, I said no. All right. 18 months go by. I really think I've done it. I'm out. I get this romantic action comedy. It comes with an $8 million offer. I read it. I pass. I say, no, thank you. Comes back with a $10 million offer. I said, no, thank you. Comes back with a $12 million offer. I said, no, thank you. It comes back with a $14.5 million offer. I said, let me read that thing again. Yay. Same words as the $8 million offer, but it was better. It was funnier. I could see myself in it. This could work, right? But I ultimately said no. No, thank you. That's the stuff I'm not doing. They come back with a $10 million offer. I'm not reading that again. No, thank you. Come back at a $12 million offer. Guys, tell them I said no thanks. Come back at a $14.5 million offer. I said, let me read that again. I read it again. It's the same words that were in the $8 million offer that I said no to. But it was better written. It was funnier, man. I could see myself in it. I could make this work. Yeah. Anyway, I ultimately said no.
Just collectively agree that this guy is the worst. He's truly a caricature of himself. His voice, it feels like not even his real voice. He has played this character for so long. But to sit down and tell me the same story in the same cadence with the same timing that you've told everybody else is kind of weird and embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. I think that's the thing. I'm embarrassed that he could not do better at telling his own story. And I'm embarrassed that he's so impressed with this story and with the way he wrote it for himself to say that he would keep saying it.